Alright, back again, Luke here. And as you can see in front of you, this is that trackball, which goes to that Golden Tee Golf 3D board that I wanted picking up. And today what I'm going to do is try and mount this whole trackball unit in the middle of this piece of wood. This is a little bit of a thicker piece. This is about maybe 1/4 inch. But I think that the original trackball was mounted on a metal plate, which was about 1/16 inch. Unfortunately, this is about double that, but there's nothing I can really do about this one here, so we'll have to see if we can make do with this. And I've got some extra pieces of wood here too that we're going to try and maybe make a table out of. What the idea is to kind of put this on a bit of an angle, so when you go to slide the trackball, it's kind of like pushing up like the original trackball setup had. But the first thing I'm going to have to do is cut a hole, and I don't think that I have a hole cutter that's that size, so I might have to cut a small hole and then kind of widen it out until I can get this outer edge to fit through. But then I'm going to wind up cutting the sides here, and we'll get it all worked out and put back together, and hopefully by the end we'll have a nice looking kind of table we can use. I'm going to be using this for some gaming that I have coming up here, and hopefully you guys will be able to take a look at the final product in a little bit. So next step, try and mount this in here, get the hole all cut out and measured out, and yeah, go from there. So I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so as you can see here, now we have the hole cut for the trackball. Unfortunately, I couldn't get this thing perfectly circular, and the main reason for that is because I didn't have a cutter that was the exact same size. As you can see here, here's a huge gap around the outside, and I needed this in order to fit around this part here. You can see that there's a little bit of a ledge. I needed this whole thing to be able to fit through here, and luckily I was able to do it, but unfortunately it required the use of my Dremel tool, and the Dremel tool isn't exactly the most reliable thing. Sometimes it can slip out of your hand, and there you go. So as you can see here, wasn't able to get over that. I don't have a jigsaw, unfortunately, and you know, I'm doing this inside my place, so yeah, it's a little bit tricky. But if we take a look at this here, we can see that it does fit inside there. You know, there is a little bit of a gap around the outside, but it should definitely serve its purpose for what it's going to be needed for. And I guess if worse comes to worse, I could always put something on the inside here, but it's not the end of the world. Just something so you can, you know, be able to use the trackball with ease. And like I said, unfortunately the original panel here would come just flush with this outer side of this outside ring, but it sticks up about a 1/16 of an inch. Nonetheless, your hand can still, you know, roll right over the top of that. There is a, you know, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. We'll kind of show you an angle. So the trackball sticks out that much, so it's still quite a bit. That's enough to use it. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the left and right buttons, probably around here, so you can turn left, turn right, and we'll put the start button up here. That's the way the original setup was for the Golden Golf 3D. So we'll do that, get those two drilled out, try and find a couple of buttons to put in there, and then yeah, we'll go on to the next step, so be back in a bit. Alright, so as you guys can see here, we've got the trackball all situated. We have the left and right buttons, those are already put in. I might wind up changing out the colors, those are just a couple of extra buttons that I had laying around, as well as the start button in the upper right hand corner. Fortunately, when I was drilling out on my my drill bit here, the outside ring here wound up catching, kind of made a bit of a ring on the outside, but I figure I'll get some, I don't know, some overlay or something and put that on there eventually. Hopefully, you know, I say this about all my projects, but hopefully it'll come true someday. But as you can see there, there's still the gap, unfortunately. I'll have to go back and see what I can do about kind of resizing that, making it look a little bit neater. And yeah, other than that, I mean, everything seems to be ready to go. All I have to do is just wire everything up and finish building the bottom part of the box. Like I said, it's going to be on kind of a similar angle as this. I'm going to definitely kind of tilt it down a bit more, but we'll have a little bit of a ledge up front, and then we'll have a bit of a you know, a taller ledge in back, and then we'll have a couple of sides on here, and we'll put maybe two planks or so across, one across the front and one across the back, and then we'll put a couple of, or maybe 4 rubber feet on the bottom of that. That way it'll stay on a table or so, and it should be ready to go. So we'll get on that next, try and build up the sides and the rest of the box here, and yeah, I'll be back in a bit. Kind of something funny that I found when I took this wood apart here, as I found this board here that says Nike considered. Is that considered to be good by Nike, or considered to be used in the next Olympic Games for wood tossing? Maybe. Just do it. Alright, so a couple hours later here, you can see I've got the sides all cut out. Those are on there. Got some glue remnants on that. I'll have to clean off. But the sides are on, the back's on, the front is on. I have everything kind of cut and beveled here to the correct angle so it'll sit flush. I also have the test button and the service switch temporarily mounted on the inside here in case I have to get into the service menu. But I don't think I'll be using it that much, but nonetheless, I mean, it's still attached to this. I figured, well, might as well just put it in there. I have the start button hooked up here, I have my two other buttons over here, and I had to do a bit of some extension in order to get the cables the right length. But for the most part, it's all wired up. You can kind of see the front here a little bit, maybe. Yeah, so we got the buttons in there, and everything's flush. I mean, it'll sit flat, like on an angle. It'll take me a couple seconds, but maybe I can get it. Something like that. It's not really gonna sit on top of the Blast City, but if it had to, once I get the supports underneath, the rubber supports here, then, you know, I mean, easy enough. There you go. So, I'm gonna kind of put some wrapping around the cables here because there are some exposed cables. They're all kind of like not tied together. So I'm gonna try and get those all together, and then we'll give this thing a test shot. So I'll be back in a little bit. So as you can see here, we've got the wires all wrapped up. I kind of got them out of the way. They're all extended here. I put a couple of extra wires on to get the cable a little bit longer so I could move this thing around into different places if I needed to. I also went and countersunk some of these top screws here because they had actually stuck out quite a bit, and the problem was when I ran my hand over it, I could kind of feel it, and after a few times it started to hurt a little bit because there was too much of a difference between the bottom and the bottom of the screw there and the top of the board. So I kind of rounded out the inside here a little bit so I could sink these down a little bit more, and yeah, it's a lot better now. So a little bit of a flatter surface there. And the buttons here, so you got left and right and start. So I figured we can put this monster out. I still have to get some boards here along the edge to be able to put down. I have 4 rubber kind of legs here to put on this, but I need to put a couple of pegs in the corners so I can mount those rubber pegs too. Kind of like a mounting stand, or else I could just fill in the whole bottom part, but not sure if I want to do that just yet. And nonetheless, we'll turn this monster on here and see how it does. I'll have to turn on the old power over here. Alright. And our intro. So, I'm not sure if I got left and right or not. I don't know if it's mixed up or not, so we'll have to see. Start. Okay, start works good. Move trackball down. Okay, that works. Yay. Say, alright. And start again. Select course. I'm guessing that's right. Yes. Okay. Alright. Start. Alright, so let's see if our left and right work, because I don't know if I got these confused or not. Right. Turning right. Yay! Turns right. Okay, left. Turning left. Woo! Alright, so left and right work. Now, let's see if we can get this ball to go. First, roll it back. And send her flying. Nice. This works out well. I'm starting to dig it. How far away are we from this? 90. Alright, well, I'll give it a full throw here. And that went off to the side. Probably because I'm playing on an angle. Oh, great. Alright, let's try this about half speed here. Nope, about half. Okay, let's just a little bit. Try and get it out of the sand here.
Golf for one,
Oh.
trying for par.
Jeez, really close. Woohoo! Alright, well, it seems to be working, guys. It seems to be working pretty good. I might have to get some rubbing alcohol here and try and clean up the... I don't know, what do you hit start? Okay. Put some rubbing alcohol here on the ball to try and maybe see if I can get it a bit shinier. See if it'll move a bit more. But... appears to be working pretty good. Let's try and kill the lights just a bit.
Golf
Try
for one is up.
one more time here. Alright. And 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right, so yeah, guys, it's working pretty well, and pretty glad about that. Probably have some people over and do some gaming here this weekend, and give that a go. Is that gonna hit the trees? It probably will. Yeah, well, let's give it a try. Can it be done with a putter? Let's try. Going for par.
Golf for one, trying for par.
Close, but no cigar. So, nonetheless, guys, there it is. The control panel is in action and seems to be functioning pretty well, which is good. I'm very pleased about that. And he figured we could do a little bit of gameplay on it, and maybe we'll do some more gameplay later on. But yeah, that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. It would have been awesome
Golf
if
for
it was a
one, trying for birdie.
hole-in-one.
Trying for par.
Never mind, we'll leave it there. Alright, let's put this in the water. Here we go. Ah! I thought it was gonna go over the cup. Oh well.